Hello, Heather. This will be some week 7 or milestone 2 video feedback for you. Heather, this looks really nice. I particularly like this transparent logo floating on top of the black and white photograph. And I see that you've made a transparent PNG. It works really well. Now, your home page is different than other pages in that you don't have the Pasta Amore logo on your child pages. I don't know, it might be nice to repeat that as a motif on every page. Maybe not obnoxiously so, but it could be very small, maybe somewhere up here in the navigation bar. It's just a suggestion to carry that corporate identification from page to page. I see that you've implemented the corporate typeface. This looks to me to be Gaudi old style. Is that correct? This looks like Times Roman, however. So I'm not sure you've been entirely consistent about using the corporate typeface. But anyway, it's working well here. And I'm not sure, again, first of all, I appreciate that you have this nice CSS drop shadow effect. That's great. And that you have editable type. It's so much better making these ingredients independent of each other. This way you don't have to go back into Photoshop and do another type or photo collage to replace the type. And it's easy to edit. If you're to make a typo in a Photoshop document, it'd be much harder to correct than just a few lines of code in your HTML. You've used the corporate palette somewhat. I'm not sure about this brownish. I mean, it looks great. I won't quibble with that. But it's, just make sure that it's one of the colors from the corporate palette, or justify using something different. Here I see the background. That looks familiar to me. I like this soft edge effect. Is that a CSS effect? You can do so much. Crop photographs into circles or unusual shapes. I like your comprehensive menu. I get hungry looking at it. And the photographs are very appetizing too. Sorry about the obnoxious watermark. Maybe there's a workaround for it. But at any rate, I mean, you meet the rubric really well, so I wouldn't worry too much about that. I think my main comment would be for you to work on your typography. I mean, this is maybe after the class, and be consistent about the way that you treat type within a document, whether it's a web document like this. Be aware of of margins, how tight this is at the bottom here, as much as you can. I like your parallax scrolling feature where the footer. Congratulations. This is a good place for social media and maybe a coded sitemap. Anyway, I like the parallax effect where the footer and the navigation remain fixed and you scroll between them. That's really nice. I like that effect. Not so much necessary to do any scrolling on these, but here it's very effective. Good going. Heather, here's your opened up submission, and so I see the parts of it that pertain to the website specifically, but I also see code validation. And I see that you have, come on, open up there, validated individual pages. That's what I'm thinking you've done here. Okay, yeah, so here's the menu page. Doesn't look like you've gotten any error codes. This is a great checker, new HTML. Were you the one who received some German warnings in German language? I wasn't sure. Somebody using new HTML, I think, did. And I think it may be a German application. And I see, too, you have a nice folder in your submission for this week or last week that contains wireframes for each individual page. Good going. Heather, I noticed that you provided me with wireframes both in Illustrator, which is what I'm looking at now, and they're very simple and they live up to your web page design really well. You might have to adjust your wireframes, especially for small devices. good going. I've really enjoyed your presence. You've come a long ways. You've overcome a lot of hurdles, and congratulations.